the situation is very difficult. It was very difficult to organize this conference in spite of a missile launch. We had several blackouts and electricity cuts. We had to relaunch our generator several times, but we managed to do this. The Internet Governance Forum of Ukraine this year has been held successfully. I would also like to remind you that we had 2 full days of work before the forum. Before the forum, we had our youth conference, which was also very, very challenging because of the missile strike. Our sections were divided into 2 days. During the first day, we had a very big section about cybersecurity in the conditions of war, moderated by Mr. Ivan Petukhov. Please let us know about the conclusions of your section. Thank you. Thank you, of course, our forum number 13, a great number. It was held in the difficult circumstances. So we thought that we would have a blackout, but we managed to do this. Anyway, we have shown to the entire world, we have shown to the aggressor, whatever they do, we are going to withstand anything, we are going to work, and we are going to do our jobs to ensure the communications and cybersecurity. So the main trend was that cybersecurity is very necessary for us. If you remember, 2 or 3 years ago, some state officials, some government officials were said that the role of cybersecurity is overestimated. Right now, it is the time when the entire society, when the armed forces, when our commander-in-chief, Mr. Zaluzhny, says that virtual frontline is real. We were looking into the legislative framework. Mr. Serhiy Shtepah gave very clear opinion about the legislation, a representative of the parliament on the issues of digital transformation. He told in many details about the plans that should be considered, about the action plan, what has to be done. Also, we were discussing preparation and training of new young people, young staff, especially in the academia of the Security Service of Ukraine. The Academy Rector, Mr. Chernyak Andrei, told about their facilities, about their preparations and curricula to prepare the experts to fight on this line of the war. We had a very relevant report from the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine about ensuring cybersecurity. Well, of course, we were not discussing preparations to cyber wars, but as we understand, the Ministry of Defense and the armed forces are paying a lot of attention to ensure the cybersecurity. We have been looking into the offers from our central agency, the State Special Agency for the Security of Communications. We had a representative, Mr. Viktor Zhora, who told us about ensuring the cyber resilience in the first cyber war. Well, I believe this is not the first cyber warfare. We have been having the warfare since 2013, when our enemy was doing this for the first time. But we already have certain experience. We are already prepared for the cyber warfare. Of course, we had a very interesting report about Asintu as an element of, about OSINT as a resource in the cybersecurity, the open source intelligence. We also were discussing opinions of our professional organizations and experts. In my opinion, we had a very good report from the international expert, from our independent expert, Mr. Korsun, who pointed our attention to the drawbacks of cybersecurity. As we see, and our company, I was telling about this during my report, our company is responsible for ensuring the work of more than 70 government agencies, but we have not been recognized as a facility of critical infrastructure. Only in mid-December, the government is going to think whether they are going to help us with the electricity or whether we have to save ourselves. This is a very dangerous policy of the government agencies. So I'm joining the criticism from our independent expert Konstantin Korsun, who says that we need to change the government approaches. So this is what I would like to mention from our section. Another important point we took some time. We had a report from our Commission representative, our cybersecurity expert Maria Pleskach, about Ukrainian-European partnership. Yes, the entire world is helping us. The entire world can see how we are defending our positions on the virtual front, on the physical front, when we have some victories and we are able to withstand the aggressor. So I believe we need to continue cooperation, we need to improve our legal support, we need to improve the legal framework. This is what we were talking about with the Member of Parliament during our section. And also we need to change our approaches, we need to improve the government management. The government agencies need to understand the market, they need to understand the situation, and they need to involve their representatives. We have been trying to knock on their doors for 12 years to try to help them, we were asking them to engage more experts, to have transparent public consultations. Unfortunately, during this time, we can see that
at the times of the acting Verkhovna Rada, at the time of local bodies, they were shortened twice as much, and when there were some discussions, they had it in a month, and now they wanted 10 days in the local bodies. It's very dangerous, and we need to bring that back. We have to amend that, and we have to improve interaction. And it's like everything that we've been discussing during the section. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to have such a discussion of the results with the people present with us, but I hope I offered that after we present our section in open access, it is on YouTube, and I think that in the nearest time we will just post that, and when we will have some requests, some offers, we will also involve that to the conclusions of our section, and we will put that in line with the summing up that we will have for our central body and the World NGA Forum. So that's actually my ending part. I'm sorry if it took too long. Are there any questions? Thank you very much. It's really informative, fundamental, and I think that if there are any questions, then people can just watch the video on YouTube and they can ask questions in Facebook. Our next session was Ukraine Digital Hub. Yuri Marcek from the Ministry of Digital Transformation held that and moderated. I don't see him among the participants now. So all the speeches, all the summings up will be published on the website, so you will read that there. I will just look at one more time. Nope. Okay, the next section, the first day of the forum, was the participation of the country in implementation of ISOC active plans 2022-2023. Unfortunately, also we don't have a moderator with us, but we have the recording, and also all these sections will be on the website. Well, and the first day ended up with the section which was called Fragmentation of the Internet. I was the moderator of this session. We had many experts, also experts from Georgia, representatives of Ukrainian community, and we discussed what kind of internet fragmentation are there, what are the threats to the internet, what challenges will provoke political and economic risks for the internet, and what actually challenges are created by war, meaning to divide the internet into a few segments. We came to a conclusion that it is necessary to cooperate with different internet communities and state bodies and users in order for all important questions that are coming up, and protection of interests of certain states, protection of interests of commercial and in terms of cybersecurity. These issues have to be discussed and maybe to find better options for satisfying these interests and not to break the internet into small parts by blocking, by transferring routing and changing of protocols. That's actually it. I would like to give the floor to Oksana Prihodko, who will speak more about the youth section. Yeah, we have Anastasia. Are you here with us? I don't see you. Okay, Anastasia, if you can hear us, if you're with us in the room and you understand that the connection might be unstable and you cannot join, if you can join, just let us know. So, Oksana Prihodko then about obligations of Ukraine with the EU about integration of Ukraine to the unified digital market. The floor is yours. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The first section, we co-moderated that with Alexei Semenyaka, and it was dedicated to the dialogue of Ukraine and international and ISTAR organizations. And there, Gabriela Shita participated, Yuri Matsek from the Ministry, Victoria Nisyuk, Telecom Ukraine, Dmitry Vergelis, State Specialist Connection, and Yuri Tashuk, Association Kherson, and Svetlana Tkachenko. So what did we agree upon? That some international organizations, ISTAR organizations, lacked understanding of what is happening in Ukraine, full-scale aggression against our country, made us activize the dialogue of Ukraine with such organizations as ICANN, RIPE, NCC, ITU Center. This activization already brought first results, but the process just started, and all these organizations are ready to help. And indeed, even after this section, we received a few offers of help. So those who need some help, please come to us. We will provide it. But these organizations really need more information from Ukraine, more contacts, and more participation of all the stakeholders, and more discussion platforms for search of solutions for these problems. The next session was dedicated to Ukraine integration to the unified digital market of Europe, and Serhiy Shtepa participated, Committee of Verkhovna Rada on Digital Transformation, Olga Kretska, Ministry of Digital, Lily Alexiuk, and this section, we can form up the conclusions in the following way. I'm sorry. integration of Ukraine to the unified digital market of the EU, the so-called digital this is a very certain aim, and we need a complex approach, consolidation of all the stakeholders, update of the roadmap, integration of Ukraine to the unified digital market of Europe is necessary, but not enough for performing this plan. As far as legislation of EU is changing rapidly, and we have already to start working on implementation of these such important acts as DSA, DMA, at the same time it is necessary to also cope with our previous debts, meaning we have to have the right for privacy practical, applicable, and also we have to consider the levels of safety, what was mentioned already, and we also have to cope with the translations of European acts to create unified interactive glossarium of translation of different terminology, and we've been mentioning that not a single time in our forums on internet governance. So again, one more time, hello to all of you. I will draw conclusions maybe briefly, but in my opinion, they are not less important. First of all, Ukrainian internet community, and yeah, it's our section number 7, which was dedicated to the formation of the Ukrainian internet community and participation in the international activities of this community. So Ukrainian community was formed quite long ago. It's quite different, and it's really active inside the country. Some of the representatives of this community are participating in international activities, in particular in ICANN and RIP NCC. But at the same time, to a great extent, this community is just closed within itself, and we have to learn how to keep our interests, to formulate and to express them inside the country and also on the international arena, and also participate in work of international internet communities, and do that on constant basis. And already available industrial organizations of Ukraine can help us with that. So these are the conclusions we came to, and all the participants of the section agreed to that. Thank you very much. I give the floor to Vitaly Morozov. Thank you very much. Today, the last section on IGF was a discussion about digital rights of users and also prospects of decentralized internet services in Ukraine and in the world. Unfortunately, not all the panelists managed to join, but we were together with Nadia. She is IT expert analyst, associate professor of the Catholic University. As for the conclusions, we've been talking about the role of those giants and their negative impact on development of internet, and also we've discussed from the position of the users, meaning what kind of consequences of those negative tendencies are in the life of users, including algorithms that are not transparent, also commercial interests of those giants. And based on that, we discussed development of decentralized services of the internet that are open source tools that have open code and the input into activity which depends on certain users. We've been talking about migrations of users from those giants to decentralized services, in particular based on the scandals with Elon Musk. And part of Ukrainian users, they were moving to Mastodon. And we try to understand how these social networks are different from those giants according to their principles. First of all, we've been mentioning that every user can raise their own server via, and these servers are called decentralized. They might be local or they might have some thematic communication. Also, these servers are interacting among themselves, what is impossible in case of those giants like users of Twitter. They cannot communicate with the users of Facebook. Decentralized services created as a federation, as part of Fediverse. They're communicating with each other and interacting with each other. Also, each server has own rules, and these rules are localized to the context of a certain country. These rules are agreed among the community. If the community accepts that, so the user might register. So now these are not massive, and probably they won't be popular. There is no commercial interest and no advertisement. There are other principles, absence of algorithms, and they will play their role because they will represent the interests of certain local communities, and they are going to be constructed thanks to the input of certain participants of these communities. Thank you. Thank you.
Настя.
So, Anastasia, are you with us? Please try to join. Hello? Yes, we can hear you. So go ahead about the youth forum. I'm really sorry for my connection. I might just freeze because our electricity, we have blackout right now. No electricity. So I would like to go to the main thing because we had a youth forum, almost traditional one this year. We were warmly greeted by representatives of different international organizations. They invited us. We invited Ukrainian representatives to this forum. We were discussing cybersecurity, alternative methods of connecting to the internet. And we also had a questioning among the participants what problems of connecting the internet you faced. And this was an anonymous questioning among the respondents. We had 86% from Ukraine. So please turn here. Yeah, wonderful. So we had 5-6 questions, and we understood that in 2022 most of people, they had to move to a distant form of education, and out of 100% of our interviewees, so almost the same situation is with the internet access, and almost 60% of the respondents faced problems because of full-scale invasion, and only like 15 and 10% because of the lines were damaged, probably due to the same reason. Fortunately, most well, I guess that probably because of the damaged lines or the electricity that used to be there came to an end. So please write these things on Facebook. Right now you can do that, and the summing up of the youth forum will be also in the general summing up of the conference. So thank you very much. Our conference came to an end. And in spite of really difficult conditions, we thank to our foreign listeners, foreign speakers who joined and supported us, who were discussing with us these issues that are nowadays really important in Ukraine and that show that Ukraine is looking forward, is resolving problems, is resolving tasks that arose, and with confidence is looking into the future. I would like to thank all the users, all the speakers who managed to join our online event, and those who are going to watch that recording or those who are going to read the results of the conference. We did what we could to the maximum under these conditions, and I'm really thankful to the platform IGF, actually, that gives opportunity to communicate to authorities, business, and civil society, and also how difficult, discuss difficult issues and ambiguous issues. And I would like also to thank to our interpreters who all the time, even in spite of the limits with electricity, problems with connection, they supported us. They were interpreting from English to Ukrainian and vice versa for international users also be able to join and communicate in their language. Thanks to our host provider, and all 3 days we've been communicated from them, and we did this conference. This is Adamant company under the blackout conditions, and we almost didn't feel these problems at the conference. Well, what can I say? Probably see you next year. Next year we will meet again and we will discuss the issues that will arise next year, and we will make a basics for fruitful cooperation. Thank you for your attention. See you.